If you've ever thought about faking your death, do not do it. Because a couple months ago, I did that. And all I can say is it ended badly. And when I say badly, I mean that it literally led to me having to move houses. It all started with a funny video I posted online one day. Here it is.
Can someone make an edit of me to make it look like I got into a car crash? Because I'm about to be late to a funeral, but I need an excuse for why I wasn't on time. Okay, here we go.
Now you may watch this video and think, Tyler, this isn't you faking your death. And you're right, but it'll all make sense in a couple minutes. To understand the whole situation, I have to give some background on why I made this video in the first place. I had a funeral to go to one weekend, but the problem in a where did you get that? But anyways, I found out about it just a couple days before the meet and greet was happening, so I couldn't cancel it right before. So this meant I only had one option: try to make it to both events. The meet and greet was a little earlier in the day than the funeral, so I was hoping that if it went by quick, I could make it to the funeral on time. But when the day came, it ended up lasting a lot longer than I expected, which meant I was gonna be late to the funeral. So after I finished meeting and greeting everyone, I ran in my car as quickly as possible. And at this point, I'm already getting texts from people at the funeral like, hey, where are you? They're starting now. Are you still coming? And I knew I couldn't just respond to these messages with something like, hey, sorry, I know bro just passed away a couple days ago, but I had to take some flicks with some people who watch my videos real quick. Because that just makes me sound like I have a mental illness, which maybe I do, but not because of this. So I start scrambling for excuses of why I was late. I'm typing out things like, my cat just got pregnant, feeling super sick today. But none of them felt dramatic or realistic enough to match the gravity of missing a funeral. And then this amazing, horrible idea pops into my brain. What if I say I got into a car crash? Obviously, I wasn't gonna actually lie to the family of people at the funeral. But for the group chat full of random friends that was asking why I wasn't there on time, I felt like this would do. So I did what I always do when I have a horrible idea. I made a video about it. I looked straight into the camera and said,
can someone make an edit of me to make it look like I got into a car crash? Because I'm about to be late to a funeral, but I need an excuse for why I wasn't on time.
And then, without thinking twice, I posted it. And I thought this video was pretty funny, but I didn't think it would do anything special. I thought I would post it, maybe get tagged in a couple edits, and then after a couple days, no one would care anymore. Because after I posted it, I went to the funeral and everything was perfectly fine there. They didn't really care that I was 45 minutes late, but the next day when I woke up, this is where everything started to go wrong. Because I get up the day after posting the video, do my morning routine of sitting on the toilet for an hour, scrolling through social media, and I check to see how the video from yesterday performed. And what do I see? 15 hours after posting it, the video is at 20 million views. And the reaction to the video was insane. People weren't just tagging their friends and laughing. No, they were actually making edits to what I asked for. But not like in a joking, ironic way. No, they were making real, serious edits to make it look like I passed away. I woke up to being tagged in hundreds, if not thousands, of edits of me, all making it look like I got into a bad car accident. Let me just show you a couple of them.
This just in, famous YouTuber Tyler Vitelli was just sent to the hospital after getting into a car crash going down Interstate 75 in South Georgia. Footage captures the car going down the interstate at 65 miles per hour. The car's wheel popped, which caused Tyler to lose control and crash into the rail guard. 911 was quickly called and Tyler was sent to the hospital in critical condition. Fans gather all around the hospital praying that Tyler makes a fast and safe recovery.
It was honestly impressive. I mean, I was the one who made the video, and even for a second, I was like, wait, did Tyler actually pass away? Now, first, I was loving it because I assumed everyone knew that it was just one big joke. Like, obviously, I didn't actually get into a car crash, but the video went so viral, with it currently being somewhere around 60 million views, that way more people saw it than I ever expected. And getting that many views may sound like a great thing, but it ended up being one of the worst things that could have happened to me. And it ended up being the reason that staying in the house I was living in wasn't safe anymore. With so many people knowing about the video, suddenly, everyone was making stuff up about it. At first, it was just people that were in on the joke, and it was people just trying to instigate and confirming that I actually passed away. Under my next post, people were commenting stuff like, there's no way this is real. It must be AI. Dang, this is a scheduled video he posted after passing away. So eerie. Bro's family is uploading his drafts, which these seem obviously fake. But for people who didn't have any context about the situation, some of them thought it was real. And after a little bit, it got a little too real. But one person in particular who thought the situation was real reacted in a very, very scary way. And you'll see what I mean by that in a couple minutes. But it was like the internet just made a decision after I posted this. Tyler's gone. He passed away. We're moving forward with this narrative no matter what he says. It didn't matter how many times I showed up in a new video, the vibes in the comments were always the same. People were acting like I was posting from beyond the grave. A lot of comments now were like, fly high, King. It's wild seeing him smile in these old drafts. It didn't matter that I was still posting. It didn't matter that I was replying to comments. No, the narrative now took a life of its own. And at this point, I was pretty much the only one that didn't think I was dead. And you may think all of this sounds harmless. And at first, it was. But what happened a couple days later at my house made me realize that I should have never posted this video in the first place. And we'll get to what I mean by that in a second. But before that happened, I was now getting crazy messages left and right. I literally got a text from a friend I haven't talked to in years, which said, "I miss you, man. I hope you're resting easy." I just replied to it with a thumbs up emoji. Then them, thinking I actually passed away, replied with a double question mark. At one point, I even got a text from one of my family members. "Are you okay? We saw something online." I actually had to call her and say, "Yes, I'm alive. People are just making stuff up online. Don't worry." Like I thought old people knew to not believe everything they see on the internet. But anyways, after the first wave of edits went viral, I expected it to die down in 2, maybe 3 days tops. But instead, it started to feel like the internet just collectively decided that I wasn't alive anymore. And what actually made some people believe this was that the edits were getting insanely realistic. At first, it was just car crash memes. But now, people were making tribute videos with fake news footage, old photos of me with candlelight filters, and captions like, "Rest in peace, Tyler. You meant more to us than you'll ever know." That is very sweet of you, though. Thank you. There was even one video that had almost 5 million views, and it was just a black and white slow zoom on my face with that classic sad piano music behind it. I would go through all my notifications just to see if anyone was actually trying to debunk the trend. But instead, all I saw was people adding to the lore. A really weird thing was when I went out in public during this time and got recognized. Because one day, I was at the grocery store, and this kid that clearly watched my videos, and by the way, I can always tell when someone recognizes me because this is how they'll react. Like, why do you guys do that? If you see me in public, just come up to me and say something. Because when you take these pics of me without me knowing, I look chopped. And we already know I struggle enough to find a girlfriend. I can't be dealing with having pictures of me looking like Quandale Dingle on the internet too. Next time someone tries to secretly take a picture of me in public, I'm doing this pose. But anyways, the kid at the store recognizes me, and I assume he's just gonna come up to me and start talking. But instead, he looks at me like he just saw a ghost. Then he goes on his phone, types something in, looks right back up at me, and says, "Excuse me? Do you know who this is?" So I mess with him a little bit and I go, "No. Who's that?" And he goes, "His name is Tyler Vitale, but you look just like him, and he passed away last week." First of all, that is not how you pronounce my last name. To everyone who doesn't know, it's Vitale. I want to set the record straight because I've had people come up to me and say all sorts of ways. But anyways, then I told the kid that I actually was Tyler Vitale, and he literally looked like he was about to cry because he thought I wasn't alive anymore. Funny interactions like this were happening left and right after I posted the video. But then there was one day where everything changed. Something happened that made this scenario go from just a funny bit to a situation where I was actually in danger. It was about a week after I posted the video. And at this point, edits were still getting made about the situation. People were still spreading rumors, and my phone was still going crazy. But on that afternoon, I went out to go grab food. Nothing unusual. I eat like 5 billion calories a day. But when I got back to my house, I saw something that made me stop in my tracks on my front porch. Because sitting right there by my front door was a bouquet of white flowers. Clean, neat, like someone just placed them there. I picked them up and there was no card, no tag, just flowers. And that might not sound weird at first. People get flowers all the time. You're right. But when you spent the last week watching the entire internet convince itself that you just passed away in a car accident, and now flowers are showing up to your house unannounced, it's hard to believe that this was just a coincidence. So I looked around my street trying to find who did this. No cars, no delivery truck, nothing. It felt like whoever did this got in and got out as quick as possible. So I picked the flowers up, brought them inside, and set them on my kitchen counter. I didn't touch them for like an hour. I just kept side-eyeing them, wondering what was going on. Was this just a troll? Was it a friend messing with me? Was it a fan? Was this something worse?